Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm Lexi Rose, and welcome back to the third episode of my A to Z reading challenge. Last video was episode 2, and we read letters G, E, and F. We read Dreams Lie Beneath by Rebecca Ross. We read Education of Malice. And From Blood and Ash. Education of Malice is by S.T. Gibson, and then From Blood and Ash is a part of a series. It's the first book in the series by Jennifer L. Armentrout. In this video, we have 3 new books that are letters G, H, and I. First things first, let's go over the summary of each book, and then we're going to talk a little bit about the authors and stuff like that. Let's start with Gallant. I don't physically have Gallant. Gallant is on my Kindle. Well, my Kindle Fire, and it's on Kindle Unlimited. I don't exactly remember what the G book was originally going to be. It was going to be something else. I think it was going to be A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. So we have Gallant by V.E. Schwab. It is a standalone novel that follows Olivia Pryor, a mute orphan, who, after receiving a letter from an unknown uncle, travels to the mysterious Gallant estate where she discovers secrets, ghouls, and a world beyond a ruined wall, forcing her to choose her place in either protecting or joining a mysterious figure. So that sounds fun. I believe this is a, what's the genre? Because I like to know about the genre. It's a horror fiction, gothic fiction, and it could be fantasy fiction. So I'm really excited because I have read multiple books by V.E. Schwab. I read The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I read Vicious, which I really did like. And then I read the first book in the Darker Shade of Magic series, so that's fun. I really liked all those books. I believe Vicious was 4 stars. And then I read another book by her. It's called The Night Witch, and I think it's a young adult, like, spooky, how would I describe it? Yeah, like a young adult fantasy. It's kind of like dark and kind of dreary. I don't know. I also read that book by her, and I really like that one too. I think I gave that one 3 stars, but my favorite book by her is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. That's just such a good book. So that's Gallant. That is going to be the first book we're going to be reading for this video. Next, we have Hurricane Wars by Thea Gusan. This is a Southeast Asian-inspired romantasy novel. I originally thought this was young adult. It's not. And I guess that makes sense because I've never actually I've never actually seen it in the young adult category or section ever in any of the bookstores that I've been to. So that makes sense as to why it's not in any of those sections, because it's not a young adult, it's a romantasy. So this romantasy follows another orphan, Taliesin, a light weaver, and Prince Ulrich of the Night Empire. So they are on opposite sides of a war. So she is from the nation of Sardovia, and he is a part of the Night Empire. So he is like the king and queen's son. Obviously, he's the prince. They are obviously enemies because they're on complete opposite sides. They find their destinies becoming intertwined as they fight a war, discover powerful magic, and face a looming threat. So this is a part of a series. So there is currently only 2 books. Unless it's a duology, I believe there's going to be like a series. I don't know. But this has been on my TBR for so long, it's not even funny. I'm really looking forward to this. Also, this book is just beautiful. Look at the map on the inside. Look at that. Can you see it? The sun is sunning today. It is so bright outside, but it may look like it's warm. It's not. It's like 22 degrees outside. And I was going to take my dog on a walk, but it's 22 degrees outside. Immortal Dark by Tigis Germa. And this is a book that is a young adult dark academia fantasy that has vampires in it. Kadan Adane, an orphan heiress, believes her sister June was abducted by a vampire named Sunsanios Sagad. And to find her sister, she goes into a arcane society, and she must live with these vampires and infiltrate them to find her and claim her inheritance, all while navigating a dangerous world of vampire-human relations. I am really excited for this because I'm really excited for the dark academia vibe. You know me, I really love a good dark academia. One of my favorite books is Study in Drowning. I really love Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. Like I said, these 2 authors, Thea Gusan and Tigis, Girma are very new authors to me. So this will be my first impression of both of them. So I'm looking forward to that. So with that being said, yeah, we're going to start Gallant by V.E. Schwab. As I said, I've read books by V.E. Schwab before. Really like them. Also, the theme of this video is orphan, because every character in all of these books, every main character in all of these books are orphans. So with that being said, let's just get on with the reading. All right. Good morning. Hi. So checking in real quick right here. So last night I read up to chapter 10 of Gallant. I am really liking this book so far. I'm really here for this kind of haunted house vibe. Also, Gallant is a house, it's an estate. And Olivia gets sent there by her uncle, but she gets there and turns out her uncle's dead. So they don't really know how she was given this letter, like the letter was sent, because he's dead. He's been dead for like a year. And the guy's son, so her cousin, doesn't actually want her there. He is kind of cold to her and she cannot speak. She is mute. And so she signs to communicate, but not a lot of people understand that around this time. So she's just kind of doing whatever. And yeah, so I think that's all I have to say about it because I don't want to give too much away. But that's kind of just what's been going on right now. The only reason I'm doing a voiceover and not like a face-to-face thing is because I don't feel like being in front of a camera right now. That's number one. Well, letter A. And B, I guess, no, actually, that's just it. I don't want to be in front of a camera right now. Okay, so cutting in right here real quick. I do not have a reading update. Well, I guess I do. I'm on chapter 17 of Gallant. I'm in the middle of part 4. I'm on page 198. So we're about halfway through. I think we're about 60% of the way through. But that is not why I wanted to cut in real quick. So I didn't make it. I filled it in. I found a template on Google. And I wanted to do an A to Z like rating challenge like tracker. I have my own like chart in a Google Doc and I like fill it out, but I like this like visualizer for the video and for like you. It just makes a lot more sense that way. So I'm going to put it on the screen. So this is called the A to Z Book Title Challenge, which I think is the official name of the challenge, but whatever, we're calling it the A to Z Reading Challenge. I don't care. So I have filled out all the books that we've read. So we have Assistant to the Villain, Blood Marked, Caraval, Dreams Lie Beneath, Education of Malice, and then From Blood and Ash. And then at the end of the videos from now on, I'm going to fill them out and I'm going to show you at the end of the video just so you guys have a visualizer. I thought this would be a good way to, I guess, visualize, what we're reading. And I think it's just a really good look. I think that's all I wanted to share. What else was I going to say? I'm really excited to see what it's going to look like at the end of our challenge because obviously we're reading books that are very different genres. There are very different vibes from each other, and especially also because the covers are all not going to be the same. I'm going to be really satisfied by how this is going to look at the end, and I'm really excited about it. But anyway, that's all I had to say. Let's get back to our regular scheduled programming. Okay, so it's been about a day or so. I've officially finished Gallant by V.E. Schwab. I really liked it. I ended up giving it 4 stars. It's not something I thought I would like because of the slow start, but it really got there in the end, and I really did like it. So now that we have finished our first book of the video, we're going to be reading our H book. Let me go grab it. Okay, so we have Hurricane Wars by Thea Gusan. This is the first book that I've read by this author, or I'm going to read by this author. I've already started a little bit of this book. I read, I want to say, up to page 10, so a little bit into the first chapter. This is a romantic fantasy, so a romantasy. I am either really going to love this book or I'm not going to be the biggest fan of it, but still continue to read the series because there is a second book. I don't know if there's ever going to be a third book or if it's just going to be like a duology type thing. I don't know. So yeah, I'm going to read some more of this. I'm probably going to bed rot today because I don't really feel that great. Don't worry about that. Yeah, I don't really feel that great, so I'm probably just going to make my bed and just chill in bed all day. So I did some homework this morning, and I took the dog for a walk. And yeah, we went very early in the morning. I want to say I left at around 9, and it was really, what was it? It was really, like gray and dreary, and it was really cold. And I told myself that if it was any colder, I probably would not have gone, but we ended up going, and it was nice. It was a little cold, but it was whatever. It really helps to go on those walks with my dog so that he can get his time outside for a little bit. So, with that being said, I don't want to keep you. Also my hair. I'm trying something new with my hair. I don't want to talk about it. I'm trying to let my hair be natural for a while. I don't know if it's working. I don't know. So if it looks like this for a couple videos or so, that is why. I guess I don't really have to explain that. I'm talking too much. I'm going to go, and I will catch up with you a little bit later. It's been a minute. I have not updated you at all since reading this book. I don't know why. I made audio notes, and for some reason I deleted them, and I can't find them. And in those audio notes, I talked about this book and how I felt about it as I was reading it, but I can't find those, and I think I accidentally deleted it, like I just said. So, okay, let's talk about Hurricane Wars for a minute. So I am on chapter 23. I'm on part 2 of chapter 23. I'm on page 281. I think this book has so much potential, but it's not utilizing its own potential, and it's really making me not like the book. I think I like the fantasy aspect of the book. I don't really like that they are not utilizing the dragons as of yet. There's dragons in this book, by the way, and we've only had one, like, scene of dragons. And for somebody who really likes fantasy, it's really a disappointment that I am not a big fan of this book. I think this book is going to be 3 or 4 stars. It's not a 5-star. I'm sorry. I feel like the dialogue is very cringy at times and a little unrealistic, I guess. The banter between the main character and the love interest is okay. I think that's, honest to God, I really like that. And then I think the pacing is choppy. I also feel like you have this very interesting magic system and lore system, and you're not using it. And it's just like, what are we here for? Because I had a hard time with the book initially, I thought, you know what if I listened to it? So that's exactly what I did. So I am currently listening to it on audiobook and kind of just reading the physical book when I feel like it. I'm kind of just going back and forth between the two. And listening to the audiobook makes it way better of a book. It makes a world of a difference. But this would be the first time that I've like really needed to listen to an audiobook, which is interesting. I think in fantasy, most people say that listening to an audiobook, specifically of a fantasy book, because of like the world building and the environment and the magic system, sometimes when you're reading it, it's hard to understand it. So because of that, I decided to listen to it. And I've read altogether on audiobook 4 or 5 chapters. I will say this book is a little lackluster. I thought it was going to be way better than what it is. And, you know, I'm not going to love every book that I read in this challenge, and that's okay. I don't want to say I had high hopes, but I kind of had high hopes. I thought this was going to be, like, really good. I also found out this is going to be a trilogy. So there's this book, and then there's another book that's already out, and then there's a third book that is coming out at some point, at some time. I was going to update you as I was reading it, like at least the early chapters, because I'm going to try to do that for every book I read during this challenge, is give you updates for the first couple chapters and then kind of come back whenever I feel like it. That seems to be really good. That seems to be a really good way for me to do this. But for this book, I just read it because I was trying to make myself understand it. And I made it to part 2, and I said, you know what, maybe if I listen to this on audiobook, maybe I'll like it better. And it seems to help me read and understand this book better. That's all I have. I think I'm going to read and listen, one of the two. I'm probably going to read some more of this later. This chapter 23 seems to be a very long chapter. So yeah, I wanted to hop in real quick because I've been very busy. I've been doing homework. It is the last week of school. Well, wait, what's tonight? Today's the 23rd. I have a portfolio due in I have a portfolio I have a portfolio due on Sunday. I have not started on the one part of the portfolio. I'm like holding off to do that. Also, my hair looks a mess. Don't worry about that. So, yeah, I'm going to go because I don't want half of this video to be me just yapping. And I will check back in with you either when something big has happened in the book or when I finish the book. I have officially finished Hurricane Wars by Thea Gusan. This is our H book, and I ended up giving it 3 stars. And, you know, I thought to myself, if something big, and I don't know if I said this, maybe I did. I thought to myself, if something big happens at the end of this book, it'll probably be a 4. But the ending was just like, okay, well, this is going to happen. You got to find out in the next book. And this book just got on my nerves, and I didn't care about the characters. I just wish this book was better, and I wanted it to be better, and I really wanted to like this, but I don't. So now that we got Hurricane Wars out of the way, I don't even want to think about her. I'm just going to put her on my red shelf and act like she's just not there. I might even just put her in the little library that I have down the road because I don't care. So, and I'm debating whether or not I want to read the second book just because I'm curious, not because I like the book. Okay, we are going to be reading Immortal Dark, which is our I book. This is a dark academia fantasy that has vampires in it. And I'm here for that. I love a good university setting. I'm pretty sure this has a university in it. I think the main character infiltrates a university to find out who killed her mom. Or university society, I guess is more what it is. She infiltrates a society, and to infiltrate that society, she has to enroll in a school. That's what I think is going on. Anyway, also I really love this. I love the sprayed edges. It says, no soul can enter without an invitation. So that's fun. I wonder if I can, even read this book because I didn't even realize it. Oh my, have I not taken the dust jacket off? Oh, that's so cool. Oh my God, I'm so excited. I'm probably going to keep the dust jacket off because I have to read it. So, I'm not going to start this right now because I don't want to, and I want to play The Sims and watch YouTube for a little bit before I decide to get back into reading again. I also have to update everything from this reading challenge, so I'm probably going to do that. I am on chapter 15 of Immortal Dark. I was going to update you guys at chapter 5, but I just wanted to keep reading, and then next thing I knew, I was on chapter 15. The chapters in this book are not very long. They're about like 2 to 3 pages, sometimes 4 max. So very fast paced, very to the point. I really like that we did not waste time getting to the university. It only took like 2 chapters. And even then, those chapters were very short. I like that it's getting to the point. I like that it's not skirting around or trying to, hold on, let me move you back. I feel like you're so close. It's not skirting around and or like, I don't know, like edging its way to the university. It's like, no, this is what's going on. This is what's happening. This is where she's going. This is why she's doing this. And it just gets to the point, and I love that. I like the tension. Well, I don't want to say tension because they genuinely hate each other right now. The relationship and or hatred between the main character, Kadan, and the male main character, Senseo Sagad. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Kadan, the main character, is a little unhinged, but I kind of love her. And she's doing it for the right reason. So she has to go into this society, I guess community, that her parents were a part of. And I don't want to go into too much detail about that because I'm not going to be able to explain it correctly. I just know I'm not. She's going to this universe. Well, she has to go into the society, and to be a part of this society, you have to be a part of this university, which is where the kind of the dark academia vibe comes into play. She's going into this place because she's trying to find her sister, and to find her sister, she has to kind of play the part to get what she wants, essentially. And I know it may be a little too early to say this because, again, I am only on chapter 15. I'm loving this book so far. It might be a 4 or 5 stars depending on what happens and how the rest of the book goes. But I'm really loving this. I'm having such a good time with it. It feels like, how do I say this? I don't have to force myself to read this. Like, I genuinely just want to just keep reading until I can't read anymore. I'm probably going to read like 4 or 5 chapters tonight because these chapters are like super freaking short. But yeah, it's kind of a little addicting in a way. Also, my computer just turned off, so that's why the lighting changed. But I guess that's all. Hold on, I gotta come closer. I guess that's all I have to say about it for right now. I am liking it, and that's a good thing. And I really am excited for how the rest of the book is going to go. I am on chapter 40 of Immortal Dark. So we have our main character, Kadan, and she is investigating the disappearance of her younger sister, June. She has a lead, and that lead is our male main character, Sunseo Sagad. And she has to be a part of this university and kind of infiltrate the society to figure out what happened to her sister. And meanwhile, there's another mystery that happens in the book that we have to also solve, which we don't know at this point if it is all connected to what happened in June or if it has nothing to do with it and this is an isolated incident. But as of right now, I'm really loving where this book is at right now. Right now, we have, like I said, we have Kadan. She has kind of made her friend group, and I really like that for her because she starts off the book very isolated and lonely and kind of unhinged and very much all over the place for very good reason. Her sister is missing. She's an orphan. She does not know about this other life that her parents had when they were alive. Her parents are obviously no longer alive. Also, every character in all of the books that I've read in this entire video are all orphans. But I'm really loving the closeness of I almost said Sagad, but that's his last name. Sunseos and Kadan. Because they kind of have to work together. They live under the same roof. And they don't like each other, obviously. It's an enemies to lovers. I'm here for that. I love that. I don't know why I'm holding this like a plate. But I don't know, and I'm very nervous about how this book is going to end. Because I've heard people say that there's a cliffhanger. And here's the thing. The second book just got announced. So that's probably not even coming out anytime soon. So I am going to be left with a cliffhanger for who knows how long. I don't know. Do you know? I don't. It's just going to be a lot. I will say this book is probably going to be about a 4 or 5 star, somewhere between those, because it's just so good. It's very addicting. It's really fun. I really like Kadan. I really like Sunseos. I like the characters in the book. It kind of has this found family aspect in it with the people that Kadan is associating herself with, and she feels protection. She feels protection? That doesn't make sense. She feels protective of these people that she's met, and she realizes that she doesn't always have to be alone, and I'm really loving that, and I really can't wait for the second book. So with that being said, I'm gonna go because I have to get my blankets out of the laundry. As you can see, my bed is bare. I had to wash my sheets, so I gotta go do that, and then I'm probably gonna read a little bit more tonight. I don't know how many chapters I'm gonna read, but because the chapters are so short, I could very well read between either 1 or 2 chapters or just like 10. Girl, what? No! Okay, so I have officially finished Immortal Dark by Tegas Germa. I finished this yesterday, and I had a whole update thing I was going to do, but I didn't like it, and so I deleted it. And then I went and saw the Thunderbolts movie, and by the time I got back, it was like 11 o'clock at night. And so I didn't really do anything but go to sleep as soon as I got home. I rated this book 5 stars. I loved this book. I loved it way more than I thought I would. I knew I would enjoy it, and I probably would end up liking it, but I didn't think I was going to love it. And the ending, exquisite. It was beautiful. I loved it, and that's why I got 5 stars. So with that being said, we have officially finished our G, H, and I book. And the next couple of letters we're going to be reading is J, K, and L. We'll talk about that a little bit more in the next video. Let's talk about the books that we did read. So for G, we read Gallant. I'll put the cover on the screen. I don't actually own Gallant. I might be going to Barnes & Noble today, so maybe I'll pick it up if it's there so that I have like a physical copy, because I do like to do that. If I really like a book on Kindle, I want the physical copy as like a trophy. Then we read Hurricane Wars, and then obviously we read Immortal Dark. Immortal Dark and Gallant were definitely way better than I thought they would be. I didn't know I was gonna like Gallant as much as I did. I thought I was gonna love this book, and I didn't. I just put it on my red shelf, and I don't ever want to see her again. But the big ones for this video were Gallant and Immortal Dark. Hurricane Wars was 3.75 stars. Immortal Dark was 5 stars, and then Gallant was actually 4 stars. And I had fun with all of these books, with the exception of that one. Well, all of these books were interesting, and while they were all fantasy, they were all different types of fantasy. So you have Hurricane Wars, which is your basic, like, I don't want to say high fantasy. What would you say? Maybe it is kind of high fantasy. Fantasy, romance, kind of like these royalty politics situation. And then Gallant was very much paranormal and different. I would say gothic. Yeah, I'd say gothic. Like paranormal gothic vibes. A little bit of dark academia in there, and then Immortal Dark was just like straight paranormal, dark academia, very dark academia, YA type fantasy. So again, they're all a little different, but they all kind of go under the umbrella of being fantasy. This series has really been really fun to do. So yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna probably get ready for the next video. If you see me in my clothes that I'm wearing right now, in the next video that we do, mind your business. I did it all in one go because it's whatever. Anyway, with that being said, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.